just going to do a quick rig rundown. This was kind of my dream rig, both the Triaxis and Simul 290 and then eventually the G system that I saved a ton of money to buy. I think my Triaxis was almost $1,500 and I think the power amp was $800. But by the time I bought the G system, the economy had crashed, and that, which was supposed to be like $1,500, was I think like $600, so at least that part was cheaper, which is cool. So I've owned my Triaxis and Simul 290 since 2004, I think, so it's been a long time now, and it definitely takes a long time to get the most out of it, to tweak it and really figure out your way around it. There's just so many different things that you can change. And I think I finally, after having it for 12 years, got it figured out. It's been very reliable, at least the Triaxis has been. I've had some problems with the power amp and replaced some components through the years. Had it blow fuses and blow transformers and all sorts of crazy stuff. But the Triaxis has been rock solid, knock on wood. Haven't had any data loss or anything like that. Same thing with my particular G system that I'm running. I think it's the older version. When it booted, I think it said 3.0 is the software I have on it. I haven't updated it in a long time. I need to do a backup in general of my stuff just so I don't lose my sounds. In my drawer, I've got spare fuses. You never know when you're gonna blow a fuse, especially if you're playing in gigs in varying weather. If it's like really cold or really hot or something, equipment tends to get a little crazy. Basically for my pedals, I've got a Kanji Eternity Overdrive clone, a Love Pedal Pickle Vibe, a EVH Phase 90 with the script button turned on, a more analog echo that I use for slapback, and then a JHS fuzz face, I think? I can't remember now. Love that pedal, it's incredible. And then just a Line 6, I think I just have the cheapest one, whatever that is, called the G30, which works pretty well. Sometimes gets a little sketchy depending on the venue if the room's really big. And this is a new thing. I got a JHS buffer. There's a little bit of tone that gets sucked out with the G system in general. When you start putting a rig together like this, all of a sudden you realize how many cables you're running your single guitar signal through, and it gets a little crazy. So just a buffer, which is a cool little secret weapon. Definitely recommend it with the whole G system thing. Now, what I love about the G system is that it pairs with power amp, preamp, and it kind of controls my whole rig. It's more like the brains that tells the Triaxis, and then the Triaxis then controls the power amp, so I can hit one button, and that was always my goal. I just want to hit one button and have everything just do the same thing. So the other cool thing about the G system, if you guys are not sure, never heard of it before, which I'd be surprised if that was the case, but it's either a pedal board where you can put everything on the ground, or it's you can take the guts out and rack mount it, and then have all your pedals in a rack attached with your either head or preamp power amp setup, which is what I've got. So it sounds good. It's not. The sounds are good. They're not as high end as maybe. At one point I was running some Reckless rack where I had 2 racks, and I had an M3000 and a G-Force and all sorts of stuff. But it's good. The effects are good, and the way that it controls everything is great. On my pedal board itself, I've got Trailer Trash board, and one of the things I love about, geez, it's so disgusting, I need to clean the thing. It's got controls for the loops. So yeah, you can jump from setting to setting and just step on one to go from whatever it is. So for me, I usually run clean chorus as my first sound, then just clean is my second sound. Mark II is just kind of like a regular crunch sound. This is my main heavy rhythm sound, and then I got my lead. So those are like my sounds. So chorused clean with some slapback, clean with some slapback. and then crunch, heavy, you know, big distortion sound, and then the lead. But what's cool is with the loops along the top, you can access those pedals just by stepping on them. So, you know, some of the songs, you know, maybe I want it to be clean, but I want to turn on the the love pedal. You know, I don't have to like save a preset per se for that. So it's almost like kind of the best of both worlds. I was running a board with a lot of, you know, just stomp boxes for a while, and I started to really like the freedom of that. So this kind of gives you both the ability just to step on one pedal, your one button, and get exactly the sound you want, but then also modify it on the fly, which is cool. I use just one volume pedal. I used to have two. I'm going to be turning that actually just over to wah. I just keep forgetting. I need to do that. Trailer Trash boards are great. Definitely recommend checking that out. My cabinet that I use primarily, I've got a 4x12 at our rehearsal space, but honestly, this 2x12 cab is just as good. You get just as much low end, and for me, it's pretty close to brand new, so it's a lot tighter. My other one's a little worn out and has been smashed and beat up along the way. So this one I've had for about 2 years now, and it was definitely a good call. It weighs half the price, sounds basically just as good. I run mine because the Simul 290 and everything in Triaxis and my G system is all in stereo. So if I rig it up to my 4x12, you get stereo delays in either side of the cab. Eventually what I think I'm going to do is get two 2x12 cabs and then like park them on either side of the stage maybe, and then have the stereo delays really be stereo. That's kind of like the Steve Vai sort of thing. I've seen him do that. So I'm thinking I might do that eventually, but these cabs are incredible. So the trick to run the 290 in mono is you have to turn obviously the volume on the B channel all the way down, but then you turn the presence all the way up, and they say that's how you do it so you avoid motorboating, whatever that means. I don't know. Works great. Been fairly reliable. I literally just changed the tubes today. Today's March 1st, 2016. The tubes in the power, you know, all the best part about Mesa stuff is that the power tubes, you know, the bias is already set. You just buy Mesa tubes, slap it in it, and you're good to go. You don't need to take it to an amp shop, which is awesome. But there is an obnoxious amount of tubes in these rigs. There's just so many tubes. There's 8 power amp tubes, and then there's 5 preamp tubes in the preamp, but there's also 3 12AX7s in the power amp as well, which I just replaced today. So I've got all new tubes running in the power amp, and it should be good, I would say, for a year and a half. I play a lot of shows though. I probably play 100 gigs a year, maybe more. So you know, we'll see. You know, I gig a lot. This used to be my rig that I like rehearsed on as well, so it took a lot of hours. But I have a single rectifier just at my rehearsal studio with my 4x12, and I'm thinking about getting rid of that and getting the new Petrucci Signature Series head, either as my main one or maybe as just the rehearsal one. It'd be lighter. That's the problem. The rack is really heavy. It's probably, God, I don't know, 75, 80 pounds. It's just like a dead weight. It's hard to pick up and move around. But that's my rig. Guys, that got any questions, just poke comments in below. I'm probably going to post a video, you know, having it mic'd up so you guys can hear what it sounds like, all the cleans, the crunches, the main rhythm, and then the lead tones. Thanks for watching.